Hey guys, how you doing? It's Speed Dogger and we're building the Mears Model F86. And a lot of guys have asked me a lot about this planking. I hope the thing don't fall over on us while we're trying to film this live. So I decided I would show you what I'm using. Got a 1x2, or actually a 2x12 balsa block that I'm also going to be using to form the nose here. But meanwhile, I'm using it for a sanding block. And basically, I get 3/30 seconds balsa in the widest sheet I can get. Usually 6-inch. If not, I make them 6-inch. And basically what we got going here is I marked that for the width of what I want. I like to go with about 1 inch on this when I do it. And you got to knock shit around on the floor as much as possible or you're just not doing your job. Anyway, guys, I come up here like right here on this deal. We're planking. There's about a 45-degree bevel right here. And what you want to be looking at right there, you want that bevel. And there's not one in here, but don't put it in quite yet. Now what I do here is I'll take and I will actually go to where I'm going to clamp that, and I will go over. Basically what I do here is when I do this, I go over the edge on that. It will usually stay in place and it will follow this line as much as possible. Get one if you don't have one. That's all I can say about that. Anyway, basically what we're going to do is we're going to come back in here and we're going to use a few clamps in here to hold this down. And you want to hold it straight to that bevel on one. You want to be beveling these, and hopefully it's going to be a real nightmare up in here because you just don't have anything to clamp to. But you want to set this over about 1/8 of an inch. And when you go on your edge here to put your bevels in, I'm going to show you that here in just a second. But basically what I do is come up here and I will just, I'll break it, why don't I? Well, anyway, you get the point. I'm going to cut a little bit of that. And anyhow, this piece will go on the next run. It'll be on the next one anyway. I'll splice it. I don't care. I've done it on a few of these. Just don't. One thing, if you do a splice, don't put them next to each other. You burn them up a little bit and here, move them around. You got a splice here, don't put a splice next to it. Put it around somewhere else. But anyway, basically what I do is I come up and I look for where it's going to live, and then I'll come back and I'll eyeball mark it right on the edge where it's got to be like this. And then I'll come back where it's actually going to look pretty good and put a tip mark in there. This one sands right off, no problem. But anyway, this is my reference mark, and that's where it's going to be. And I do it to every single one. So basically what I'll do now is I'll take another straight edge, basically about right in like so, and mark it like so, like that. And then take this off for a second, leave your clamps where they're going to be. And I usually try to keep a few close to where I know I'm going to be working with them. Anyway, as you'll see, I put 3 marks on there. It's no big deal. And I just take the razor knife, come back and just very nonchalantly cut it off. Make sure if you have a better half that she ain't looking at you when you're doing this. And I'll probably get yelled at because that woman grows hair in weird places and does this. Well, anyway, you'll see. When you get in there, you get a basic area and shape. Just hold it up there. Make sure you have your reference mark right in there. And then you can come back and get this area. Now, one thing you want to do, it's not a straight cut. God dang it. I need more room. But anyway, I just come back and I go long and just kind of, you can see where you're curving, like so. And notice I have not put the bevel in it yet. And that's all there is to shaping that. That fits beautifully. So what I do here is I come in and I manually I sand in the bevel. You want to make sure the edge is fairly sharp and make sure that it's got, now I kind of eyeball it, but notice I keep that about like this. I use my fingers as a guide, funny enough. I sand myself all the time because it's awesome. Now, if you look in here, that's what you want right there. Now it's just a little bit off right on the edge. And you want it to look like in there. I hope you can see that. Let me look and see. Yeah, right there. You want that edge and that bevel. When you get it ready to put in the airplane, you're going to notice that tick mark that you put on there and everything else. That's it. Now, we're not done with that yet. I love that. That's perfect. Okay. It don't take very long to do. But don't rip yourself off. And pay attention where you're at. We're going to come back and put another bevel. That is very straight. Learn how to read the wood, guys. If you don't know how to already, I'm assuming you guys do. But anyway, you want to put another bevel in it. It only takes a second. That's what you're looking for right there. And that is a real good joint. And then when you see what happens here, they'll almost hold themselves in place. And you just stay true to your tick mark. And you can push that in like so. And always test fit all your parts. It just saves yourself a whole lot of problems and time. And I'll put more clamps on it. But this is what you're getting. You want this. Once you get it clamped into place, it's a loose fit now until I glue it. But once you see it, all these parts, you can go back and final sand it again. But guys, that stuff sucks up real tight when you put it in there. Get a little bit in there, you can actually, I just put it on there. It's fine. Once I put this and I clamp that one will go right into place. It's just a matter of knowing where it goes. And a lot of guys have been asking me about this. And it adds a lot of strength to put that bevel in there and actually get it set up. And, you know, I use a lot of clamps when I do this kind of work. Because when you do this and you clamp it, you might have a little bit of a lip, but it looks worse than it is. But don't let it bug you. All this stuff will clamp tightly. It will all clamp in tightly. And clamp it on anything you can get in there. Like you see right there, that gap. Once you get it, you can actually push it up a little bit and clamp that guy down. That's all there is to it, fellas. I'm going to do a few more of these live videos like this if I can get away with doing it, because it's just, I know I kind of ripped a lot of you guys off on some of these bids, but there's a lot of things people have been asking. And as you can see, none of these on this thing is a big orange peel, but you don't want to have too many of these. I've got a couple in here, and I've tried to keep them kind of staggered as much as possible. But that is how I do it. I'll glue that up, you know, and I'll just keep on going down with it. But as you can see, guys, we're starting to get a shark nose, and it looks pretty cool. Any of the other stuff that goes on there, we're not going to worry about. We're just going to make it happen. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys.